Okay, we are going to look at a quick review of what happens as compliance and resistance changes with Ippb. So right now I have a flow set at 25, I have my pressure set right about 20, and a normal compliance level. So we're just going to give a breath. And what we see with that breath is we get about 0.9 liters. Okay, so now what we're going to do is decrease the compliance. So we decrease the compliance. The patient, we're going to trigger the breath by pushing the red button to trigger the breath. Now we see inspiratory time definitely decreased, and now we only got 0.2 liters. So let's see if we can increase the pressure to a point where with this patient with really low compliance, we can still get approximately 900 cc's tidal volume. So I increase the pressure. I'm going to trigger the breath. Ooh, my manometer. You can see with a pressure over 40 with this really low compliance, I was only able to get about 0.6 liters. So it would be really hard in this state to get good volumes in this patient. We would just have to do the best we can. And you can tell in that on that last breath, the inspiratory time was very long. We would have wanted to increase the flow rate for our next breath and possibly also pull out that air mix to provide more total flow that would also help reduce the inspiratory time. But now what we're going to do is we're going to remove or replace the compliance back to normal. And this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my resistor of 50, which I just had. It's on the top, thank you. So there's my resistor of 50. I want to make sure that that's working right. Okay. So we'll plug that in. Here's our patient with airway resistance. I want to turn this back to 20, and we'll leave. And this one, I'm going to do some exaggerated changes. So I'm going to have my flow rate at 40, and we're going to try to give this breath. So with that, I got about 0.6 liters. And again, you'll remember when we had normal resistance, we were able to get about 0.9. So let's see what changes we could make with the flow. And obviously this will make the breath take a lot longer, but let's see if we can get a little bit higher volume. So it didn't get quite to the 0.9 that we had got, but you can definitely see we were able to add a little over 200 milliliters by just reducing the flow. So that helps demonstrate that principle that as the patient has more resistance to the airflow, decreasing the flow rate, providing a more laminar flow, will help increase the volumes. You'll also see I have the air mix pushed in, which would also be beneficial for a patient that had a lot of airway resistance. Other things with airway resistance to remember is that these are the patients that would definitely benefit from having a bronchodilator either before the therapy or in conjunction with the Ippb treatment. Okay, you can end our video.